Okay, hi, welcome to another Urban Outdoorsman SoCal video. My name is Danny Milton, and today we're going to be doing some Mavic 3 testing. So today I'm at El Dorado Park, and I'm going to be walking around through the trees just to see how well the newest firmware update is going to do with the ActiveTrack 5.0. Really quickly, I want to thank everybody who watched my previous video where I did do some ActiveTrack testing and I had a crash. So far, you guys have been awesome, just leaving me comments, you know, leaving me condolences, hoping my drone was fine. The drone is fine. I did have to replace the props on them. So I've done a couple of videos using the newest firmware. If you want to see those videos, you can click that link right there. So what I'm going to be doing today is just walking around through this kind of, you know, small treed area. There are some trees are taller, some trees are lower. Hopefully, if the drone is doing really well, I'm going to walk under more lower trees. You'll see in the screenshot, and I'll show you guys a little bit of B-roll too of what the drone is actually recording, but it's mainly going to be the screenshot of my phone. That way you guys can see all of the sensor, you know, color things on the screen. You can see how fast the drone is moving, the height that it's at, and all of that good stuff. And hopefully the drone does really well today. A couple of quick tips I will give you just right off the bat is before you even launch your drone, make sure you wipe down or clean off all of those sensor cameras. Sometimes you can get a smudge, you know, you're putting a battery in or you're doing something, you might smudge one of those cameras and it could affect how well that camera or that obstacle detection is going to work. So one of the other things I do in my ActiveTrack videos is I always leave the camera settings in auto. So this is where we're going to start from right now. I have the drone probably about, let's say about 10 feet behind me. It's probably at about 6 feet-ish, maybe a little bit higher than 6 feet. And I'm just going to start walking around through the trees and see if it will stay locked onto me. All right, so you can see right now it's not the best lighting conditions because the sun is in front of me. The drone is looking at a shadowed kind of figure, but it was able to lock onto me. You can see that person icon on the bottom of the screen there. Let's see, we're in ActiveTrack. I'm going to start it recording me from behind so we can just kind of get a baseline to see how well it's going to do. So I'm walking. I'm also not going to have the drone too far away from me to start. Like I said, it's pretty close. It's within about 10 feet of me right now. We're walking through these trees here. You'll see on the screen record what it looks like. There are a lot of these branches here do not have any leaves on them, but there should be enough for the drone to see and keep following me. I'm probably gonna, you know, fast forward through a lot of these tests just to do, you know, to get in as much video footage as possible. If there are any sections that, you know, the drone hits some leaves or decides to not, you know, to stop tracking me, then I will slow down and show you those guys. It's doing a good job staying locked on pretty well. I haven't heard it clip any branches so far. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more lap around like that with the drone from behind me, but what I did this time is you can see on screen, it's definitely farther away. It's probably twice the distance, about 20, maybe 25 feet away from me right now. All right, so the drone had to circle around that first tree because I forgot to hit go on the ActiveTrack. It's definitely farther. Now this is probably gonna be a little bit more challenging because I am farther away from it and it's gonna have to try to keep up and duck under these trees and miss this trash can right here. I don't want to stop walking. I haven't heard it hit any leaves yet. So now I'm gonna hang a left around this tree. Let's see if it can figure that one out and get around the tree. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. That was pretty impressive. I'm just walking at an average pace here. I'm not trying to sprint around or anything. Let's walk over towards these trees here ahead of me. I don't see anybody over here. I have the drone a little bit closer to me this time, about 10 feet. It's about as low as it will fly. I'm holding down on the joystick right now, and the lowest it will go is about eye level right now, so probably about 6 feet. So I'm gonna start walking towards that tree and see what happens. Back up, drone. Okay, so getting close to the tree. It's moving around. This time it's staying in front of me. Drop down there, you can see all that. Probably got about 6 or 7 feet of clearance right now. Now the drone is sometimes close to me and then it backs up again. Let's go over this way. So I'm gonna, okay, come on. No, it doesn't want to stay in, oh, it's trying to stay in front. Sensing a lot of trees right now. Drop down, oh, I'm a little close. Okay, it went over the top of me. Let's see if it will go underneath. Oh, it tried to anticipate. All right. So that was interesting there. It tried to anticipate me coming out the other side of this tree. So you saw as it went up and over the tree, but it wasn't able to lock onto me when I came out the other side. Okay, so that time it wasn't able to kind of figure out where I was going to come from the other side of that tree. It did fly over the tree all by itself, but wasn't able to lock onto me as I came through it. We're gonna try one more time to see if the drone will stay in front of me. All right. Now the drone's behind me right now. It's supposed to be recording from the front, but I don't think it's gonna get there. There's that dreaded pop-up screen again about strong interference. Now it did follow me through there. You can see the sensor, you know, the little red things here and there popping up. Whew. Wow, that was super aggressive. It came around between me and a tree, probably about 4 or 5 feet away, to get in front of me. Still pretty high though, so I'm walking towards these trees behind us, or behind the drone in front of me, and let's see what happens. It's way too high to get underneath the tree, obviously. Okay, it's dropping down. Dropping down. Don't attack me. Oh, that's pretty scary right there. Wow, that was impressive. Okay, that was very impressive. And then, wow, and then got around back to me in front pretty quickly. I wanted to see how well the drone is going to do having to go under. A lot of these trees only had about maybe 4 or 5 feet of clearance, and the drone was going to have to drop underneath those and still track me and obviously not hit one of those trees. The drone did a really good job. You know, a couple of times when it was tracking me from the front or the side, and when it came to a difficult situation, the drone would kind of fall in behind me and it would figure out what it would have to do to keep following. But I'm okay with that because it didn't crash. I mean, it's not foolproof. It's not always going to stay out to your right or to your left or in front of you or wherever you put the drone, because the environment and what it has to move around is always going to be changing. It did a really good job of, once it was in a clear section, of getting back out to that side that it's supposed to be recording from, whether that be the front, right or left or behind. It did duck under a lot of trees. A couple of times it got really close, like it would come up to a tree and it would stop because it was too high and that tree was in between me and the drone. Almost every single time the drone was able to drop underneath those branches and keep following me. There was one time where the drone came up to a tree branch and it got stuck. You can see on the screen record that the drone was still locked onto me, but it stopped tracking me. So one instance out of probably 10 laps I did around this park here was a really good job. You know, I am moving very slowly. I am wearing dark clothes. I know I'm not gonna wear a bright orange vest out here so the drone can see me better, because nobody's gonna be wearing a bright orange vest while they're trying to shoot a video. So drone did a great job. It clipped maybe a couple of very thin branches twice as we were going under one particular tree, because that tree had very little leaf coverage on it, And when you get those really thin branches, you know, there's not a lot of contrast. They're reflecting the sunlight, so they don't show up on, I mean, even a GoPro video, they don't show up very well. So as the drone is kind of moving around, sometimes it will clip those. You know, I see a lot of people, they're doing active track tests on like a mountain bike or a motorcycle or something like that. And when the drone is flying that fast, there's nothing on earth. I mean, even the Skydio is going to hit those very small, thin branches just because of how fast the drone is going. Now the drone, the Mavic 3, was able to, you know, maybe clip just a couple of them very quickly and then drop down as it realized what it was doing and stay locked on to me and just kept going and going. So today's test went really well. I'm really impressed with how well the drone did. I'm gonna be doing several more tracking videos and flight tutorials, that kind of stuff, coming up in the future. You know, I'm gonna do more mountain bike videos with the drone testing me. I am gonna get out to the desert in the next couple of weeks and see how fast the drone will track me. I've had several people in the comments tell me that the drone will only track up to, you know, 20-ish miles per hour. There is always that kind of caveat of where the drone will only track you to a certain speed depending on what icon is appearing at the bottom of the box. You know, if you're just walking or if you're on a mountain bike or a motorcycle, it still shows that person icon, and the drone in normal mode will only track up to about 20-ish miles per hour. Whereas if you lock onto a vehicle like my truck, the drone will track, you know, in the high 20s, maybe even up to about 30 miles per hour in normal mode. You can put the drone in sport mode and it should track you faster, but that's one of the things I haven't tested yet on this new firmware. So when I get out to the desert, I'll be doing, you know, normal mode tracking and also sport mode tracking, just to see how far and how fast we can push this drone. All right, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Keep those comments coming. You know, tell me about your results. Tell me if you have any other scenarios that you want me to test this drone in. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more mountain bike trails, and I'm also going to be heading out to the desert. If you can think of anything else, let me know in the comments. Keep those comments coming. The more times you guys comment, the more YouTube will push this out to other people other than just you guys, my subscribers. So do all that stuff for me. Hit that like button, share, comment, definitely subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I've got a ton more videos coming. Make sure you click that bell notification, because I'm getting these videos out as quickly as I can, so they're not going to be a normal cycle of, you know, one per week. Typically I try to drop videos Friday morning about 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but like I said, these drone videos I'm cranking out as quickly as I can, so they may come out anytime during the week. So if you have that bell notification turned on, it will notify you when those new videos come out. And last but not least, click on one of the boxes in the corner. One will go to the Mavic 3 playlist, another to a favorite video, and you can click the logo in that corner, the Urban Outdoorsman SoCal logo, to subscribe. Thanks a lot.